2022 was a crap show, but it had some pretty good comic books. Stay tuned and I'll tell you my 5 favorite comic books for 2022. What is up, Crew Without Fear? It is the Dude Without Fear here, and it's been way too long since I've made a video. Please excuse the mess that is behind me and around me. I am fixing to move, and so I'm trying to organize boxes, move my comics out of cabinets into boxes, and make sure everything's in order before I do that. And in order to get to the order, there is chaos. But there has been chaos ever since I started selling comics and trying to make a business out of that. I have ran out of space, and that's part of the reason that you haven't seen me as frequently, is because I just haven't really had the space to make videos. I don't know that that's going to necessarily change going forward, because where I'm moving is just a really temporary situation as it is. I'm going to still try to make some stuff. I got a workspace now for the books, and so my videos might start taking place in there. But enough about that. Thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate it. I wanted to talk about the comics that I enjoyed the most last year in 2022. We're in the second week of January 2023, and I've got some goals for this year for my comic book collection. My comic book collection hasn't been getting anywhere near the attention that I want to give it because of all the stuff that I'm doing. Trying to start a comic business, working a full-time job, trying to learn music production, all sorts of stuff, man. I'm a very busy boy. But I am, I've got some goals this year for some things that I wanted to do with my collection, and one of those goals is to not buy as many new comics. As a seller, I don't sell new comics. I only deal in back issues, and that's part of the reason for that is because I think there's a lot of new comics that come out that just really aren't worth it. They aren't worth the time and the attention. That's just how I feel as a collector, as a comic fan. As an individual, that's just where I'm at. If you're enjoying stuff, that's cool. You collect what you want to collect. But one of the things that I want to do this year for my collection is kind of focus more on back issues as opposed to buying as many new comics as I have been, trying to whittle that down a little bit, and fill in some of these runs on these books that I really want to buy. But that doesn't mean I'm not going to still continue to buy new comics, because like I said, there have been a lot of new comics come out that I really enjoyed last year. And so I've picked my top 5 favorite books that came out last year, and the qualifications for this are it's only books that I've read, because I can only tell you what I liked. That's what I've read. And it had to come out in 2022. So I wanted to just show you what I enjoyed, and I want you to leave me a comment below and tell me what you enjoyed as well. What didn't you like? And let's have some conversation about comic books and the state that they're in, and what you enjoyed last year, recommendations for me. But before I do that, I did want to let you know, Without Fear Comics is live. My website is up and running. You can shop by character, you can shop by publisher, you can buy complete sets, And there's even a dollar bin. That's right, you know how much I love dollar bins, so of course I'm going to have a dollar bin on my website. You can even, if you're looking for a particular title, you can search for that particular title, and it's going to pop up what's in inventory for that title. If you're looking to even get out of the hobby, you can start the process of selling me your collection. And so I wanted to tell you guys about it because you're the ones that started with me on this journey. And so as a thank you to all of my subscribers, I wanted to give you guys a promo code to get 10% off of your order. And so all you have to do is put in the promo code FEARLESS when you are checking out, and that should take 10% off of your entire order. So I hope you find something good on the website if you're interested. I'm adding inventory every day, sometimes more inventory than others on some days, but the inventories should be always growing and being replaced and everything. So check it out if you're interested. But enough of that, let's get into what you're here for. My first book of 2022 that I have really been enjoying is Rogue Sun. And so this is in the Radiant Black universe, and this is, I actually am liking this a lot better than I'm liking Radiant Black right now. And that's just because so Rogue Sun is about this kid who takes over the legacy of being Rogue Sun from his father. And, you know, his rogues gallery that's being built right now is kind of different than the typical rogues gallery that we're used to. There's a lot of family drama going on and stuff too. He's a teenager in high school, so it's got that classic Spider-Man kind of feel to it. And, you know, I really like stories about heroes becoming heroes. And, you know, this guy's not the best dude. He's kind of a jerkhole. But he is on his path to become a hero, and he's learning what that means. And it's an interesting journey so far. So if you haven't read Rogue Sun, I recommend giving it a shot. The next comic that came out in 2022 that I enjoyed was Night of the Ghoul. Now, I'm not a Scott Snyder Batman fan whatsoever, but he is a good writer. He can write a good story, just not a good Batman story. But anyway, enough of that. I love Francesco Franciavilla's artwork, and that's the main reason I got this, because it's a horror comic with art by Francavilla, and normally he just does the covers on a lot of stuff these days, but he did the entire artwork, and he really has this like really noir horror vibe to his stuff. And this was an interesting read. It's only a 3-issue miniseries, so, you know, not a whole lot of time and money invested in it. Number 3 is Do a Powerbomb from Daniel Warren Johnson. So if you follow the channel, follow me, you know that I love Murder Falcon. That's what sold me on, that's what made me a Daniel Warren Johnson fan for life. And Do a Powerbomb, all of Daniel Warren Johnson's stories that I've read have these like really powerful moments in them, and there's just so much heart in his stories. And this series was no different. It's about a wrestler who has to, if you join this wrestling tournament by this dude who's a necromancer, in another dimension, the winner of the tournament can get whatever they want. And she's a wrestler because her mother passed away wrestling, and that's what her mom did, and she's trying to wrestle to get her mom back. And so it's an interesting comic. Number 2 is Stuff of Nightmares. So this is a 4-part horror story by R.L. Stine of Goosebumps fame, and Francavilla did the covers on this book, and that is another one of the reasons I bought this book. This story is the Nightmare Keeper. This dude right here is telling a story about these two brothers who are essentially modern day Dr. Frankensteins, and so it's a very similar tale to Frankenstein, but it's just an enjoyable read. There's some twists and turns in it that you don't see coming, really, and it's just a fun book. And this is almost, I mean, it's very close to my favorite book of last year. When all is said and done, it might wind up being my favorite book of last year. But I'm giving the number 1 spot to Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Saturday Morning Adventures. And the reason that it's getting the number 1 spot is because it's just fun. It's fun. It feels like the old cartoon, and it's not preachy at you, and it's just like fun Ninja Turtle stuff. It's awesome. I enjoy this way more than I'm enjoying the current Ninja Turtle series. I'm actually not even reading that anymore because it's boring to me. But this is not. I enjoy these, and so far each issue has been a standalone tale, which is something that's super rare in comics nowadays. Comics nowadays are, 5, 6, 12-part stories so that they can sell you a collection later on down the road when they're done printing it monthly, and that's not what this is. This is just each issue is its own thing. And I think more comics need to be like that, and they need to go back to that, because standalone stuff is where it's at. Takes a lot more skill, shows off a lot more skill to be able to tell a story in 22, 23 pages as opposed to, 122 pages. And the comics industry needs to move back towards more single issue storytelling like this. So there's my favorite comics of 2022, and I would love to know what your favorite books were of last year. If you have any, let me know. Let me also know what you hated of last year. If you hated any of those, I want to hear about it. I want comments. I want to engage with you guys and gals and whatever. But thank you so much for watching the video. If you check out my website, I appreciate that. Any help I can getting people to go to it, that's much appreciated. But I hope you guys, if you do go to the website to shop, I hope you find something that you're interested in. And remember, you can save that 10% off with the discount code FEARLESS. So I appreciate you all. Thank you so much for checking out this video, and I hope to see you again very soon. So here's hoping I do. Be excellent to each other and take it easy.